Imagine this. Your boss looks you dead in the eye and says, "Never trust a black man in a hoodie." That's not a movie quote. That's something a real manager said to me. And instead of throwing punches, I threw pennies. If you've ever been underestimated, disrespected, or wished for the perfect moment of revenge, this story is for you. Hit that like button, subscribe, and let's dive into one of the most petty, but deeply satisfying, acts of workplace justice you'll ever hear. I'm a black British man. My family migrated legally to Wales when I was just 5 years old. Growing up, I didn't even know what racism was. Kids are kids. You play football, swap crisps at lunch, argue over whose turn it is on the PlayStation. Skin color didn't mean much to me. But adulthood has a way of pulling the rug out. I became an HGV mechanic. Big trucks, long hours, heavy work. I loved it. Grease under my fingernails, the sound of an engine roaring back to life. It gave me pride. But pride doesn't stop people from being cruel. I first noticed it during my apprenticeship. Tutors making jokes. Classmates poking fun at my hair or my accent. Little comments, said with a smile that wasn't really a smile. It was my first taste of casual racism. And if you've ever been on the receiving end, you know. Casual doesn't mean harmless. It's death by 1,000 cuts. By my 4th year, I'd built thick skin. Or so I thought. Then the dealership got a new manager. From the second he walked in, I felt it. His vibe toward me was different. Anyone from a minority background knows the look, the tone. Like he'd already decided who I was before I even opened my mouth. At first, it was little things. He'd walk by and, without asking, reach out and touch my afro. Like I was some kind of exhibit. He'd crack jokes about my African name. You need to go ask your mom why she gave you that one. People laughed. I forced a smile. One day, standing next to the supervisor, the manager smirked at me and said, "What? You're gonna light a fire outside and send smoke signals to your African friends?" The supervisor laughed so hard he nearly choked on his tea. Me. I stood stone-faced. Inside, my stomach was a knot. And then came the canteen incident. Full room, everyone eating. Out of nowhere, he says, "That's why they shouldn't let blacks into colleges. Low IQs, the lot of them." Do you know what it feels like to have a room go quiet while you pretend you didn't hear? I sat there, every nerve in my body screaming. But the final straw was the hoodie comment. It was a freezing day. So I threw on my hoodie while waiting for parts. He thought the supervisor was around the corner. And he said it. Never trust a colored man in a hoodie. I didn't snap. Not out loud. But inside, something broke. That night, I paced my room. Angry. Hurt. Humiliated. You know when your chest feels hot. Your fists clench without you realizing. That was me. My brain replayed it again and again. The smirk. The laugh. The silence from everyone else. I could complain to HR. But at that company, HR was a joke. Bullying, racism, harassment, they brushed it under the rug. I'd seen it happen. But I wasn't going to just swallow this. I may not be violent, but I am creative. And patient. And that's when I remembered the snacks. See, the manager ran this little side hustle. He'd buy snacks and drinks wholesale, stock them in the break room, and sell them to us for 50p or £1. He said the money went toward Christmas drinks. But there was a catch. You had to pay in 50p or £1 coins. One time, a mechanic, strapped for cash, paid with smaller change. Pennies, 2s, 10s. The manager tore into him, humiliated him in front of everyone. And in that moment, a light bulb went off. If he hated small change so much, I'd give him nothing else. That night, I went home, dug into jars and drawers, and counted. 1. Buy. 1. I stacked pennies and 2s until I had exactly £4 worth. £4. It took ages, but with every coin, I felt calmer, stronger. The next day, I walked into work like nothing was wrong, grabbed some snacks, walked up to the till, and with the straightest face you've ever seen, I dropped hundreds of coins into his hand. Clink, clink, clink. His jaw tightened. His face went red. But he said nothing. I walked away, grinning inside. The explosion came later. First break, 10 a.m. He stormed into the canteen, face like thunder. Who paid with all that change? Silence. I raised my hand. That was me. I looked him dead in the eye. He lost it. You guys have nothing better to do. You don't appreciate anything I do for you. I'm not doing this anymore. He stormed out, muttering, slamming doors. The room was dead quiet. And me? I had the biggest grin plastered across my face. My supervisor, who'd heard every racist comment, pulled me aside later. He didn't defend me. He scolded me. You've ruined it for everyone. You better bring proper money tomorrow. And that's when I realized, in that place, I was never going to be one of them. No matter how hard I worked, no matter how much I endured. So I left. Not long after, Karma paid a visit. The manager, he got sacked. Well, told to resign to save face. But he was out. On his last day, he bought everyone food. A farewell gesture. I refused. Stayed in the workshop while they gathered. He even came to me. Said, behave yourself while I'm gone. Maybe he expected a handshake. A thank you. I didn't even